Yeah, I'm Luke Redhead. I founded Sentry Collective about 2 years ago now, and I help founders and solopreneurs use LinkedIn to generate conversations with their dream clients.
Nice. And why did you start that particular business?
Um, the honest answer is I didn't. I actually started off as a content creator and writing posts and blogs and articles and things. And as part of that journey, I found LinkedIn and realized the potential that was there. Invested a lot of time into learning the platform, understanding the sort of ROI that can be generated, and realized it was, if anything, my true calling sort of thing. So, I've invested a lot of time to understanding that, and been working with quite a few different clients, and decided to niche right down and focus on the conversation side. Ultimately helping people start talking to people and start to generate sales calls and things like that, and ultimately give them a more consistent approach to growing their business.
And you mentioned there, like investing time into the business in the early stages. How have you grown this particular business? Then, is there anything that you did in the early stages that got you miles ahead, or was it bit by bit? How was that growth period?
The term overnight success is the polar opposite. I grew very slowly, but it was a good thing, and I thought it was good that I could build sort of a good foundation and learn from that. I think the key thing for me that was really pivoted kind of my direction and my journey was when I kind of moved away from the spray and pray approach, and I was posting on like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, and I just focused my efforts on one platform. I went against the advice of people, saying make sure you've got a presence everywhere and diversify that risk. But for me, it really paid off. So I invested a lot of time into that. Started building my personal brand, and the results followed.
And you said there about certain things paying off. What's been the biggest high with this business?
Yeah, I think probably my key one, when I started this business, I started because I like helping people, and I wanted to do the stuff I enjoy doing, which was writing. And I thought if I could do what I enjoy doing and help people, it's a win-win. And earlier on this year, I launched a coaching package to help people grow, and I can support them on a one-on-one basis. And the last couple of months, my phone every other day is pinging up with messages from clients. Oh, I've achieved this today, or I've done this, or this has worked really well. And and it's almost overwhelming to a point, just seeing the results of the thing that I've built and put together, and how it's helping others and changing their lives and setting them up for success. That's the biggest reward that you can get from this sort of thing. So definitely that.
And on the flip side, what have you had any low moments? And if so, what have been some of the lowest of the lows?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I started, I launched the business as a limited company in the early days, just because I wanted to secure that sort of side of it. And it took me around 2 years before I saw any real traction. I think I actually lost money for 2 years, and it wasn't that, it wasn't a bad thing in hindsight. It was 2 years where I learned a lot of really important lessons. I built a lot of experience, and I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now without those 2 years prior. So at the time, it was very frustrating. You put all the work in every day, and you're really pushing for it. But it pays off in the end, and we all have our own paths that line up. So I look back and I just think, it was definitely worth it. But at the time, there were some moments where you do think, is this really worth it now? but it definitely was, definitely.
Yeah, no, I've had that as well. You think, is it worth it? And then as you go to quit, something good comes in and saves you. So there's always that silver lining around the
The
corner.
universe just pushes you, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's always saves you at the last minute, at the 11th hour. But
Yeah.
one of the things one of the key words that I saw on your LinkedIn and on your website as well was conversations. It seems to be like a recurring word used in your marketing. So I thought, how important is it to be connected to the right people in order to have and spark those conversations that will really help you move forward? How important is it to be connected, essentially?
Massively important. It's I think in my personal opinion, I think the way that the world of business is changing, people value that human interaction a lot more now. Every single one of my clients has started by me talking to them and engaging and, building that connection. So a lot of other people have seen similar stuff as well. But yeah, I think the world of business is changing massively. It's not just about what's the best deal you can get. It's, people are being a bit more aware of, their experience and how they feel about things. And I think that's a really good thing, that people are more conscious of themselves now. But on the flip side, that means that they value, if they work with somebody, a supplier or a coach or whatever, that person is somebody who gets them, that they get on well with, and that they can trust in as well. So that was the reason I started focusing on the conversations. I thought it was really important that people focus on that side of it, and then they build the trust, they build the connection, they build the relationship from there, which then leads into a much more fruitful, client business relationship. So, it's working really well. I've seen lots of good results from it. My clients are seeing really good results as well. So, yeah, it definitely works, and I think it'll just grow from here on for definitely the foreseeable future.
And you also mentioned there about being conscious of yourself and who you are. How important is it to be truly tapped into who you are and represent that online in a genuine way? Because I'm sure you would have seen it on LinkedIn. There's a lot of, I was walking down the street today, I saved 3 puppies from a tree or whatever, like it's just all ridiculous stuff. And I believe in people and love, and it's all a facade. So how important in that environment is it to be genuine, offer value, and does that help you stand out, do you think?
Massively. Yeah, massively. I always strive, everything I share is always very honest, and it's stories that I've personally been and done, and I think that's a really strong position to be in when you're talking to somebody and they say, oh, I'm struggling. I was talking to someone this morning, and they said, oh, I'm struggling to sort of talk to people in the DMs on LinkedIn. I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, oh, I've been there, I get it. Here's what I've put in place. Let's start with that and let's try that. And and they've gone away and they've tested it out, and it's seeming like it's working quite well. They went away very excited from it. So if I said, oh yeah, I've made £1 million in one DM message, they'd be a bit, is it true, is it not? Yeah. There's no trust there. But if it's an honest, then you can portray that honesty and that transparency, and it's clear that that's the case. You just build a lot more trust, and and it helps you build those important relationships a lot easier.
That's good advice. Is there any advice that you would give, like, for young entrepreneurs? If you could share one piece of advice, is there one sort of gem that you'd share with someone?
Yeah, definitely. The one thing, as generic as it'll sound, but for anybody out there who's is maybe in that position where they're in the early days and they're either struggling or they're doing well, just keep talking to people, keep building those connections, and keep asking for help where you need it. As I say, I spent 2 years where I struggled a lot, but I had a lot of good conversations in those 2 years, and I've got a lot of really good friends that I've made from that. A lot of people I can turn to if I need, and a lot of people that now, I'm very lucky that I've got a really good sort of community of people that are there to support me and champion me on. So if I'm ever struggling with something, I can turn to people really easily and we can have a chat, and and I'll do the same for them as well. So definitely invest in talking to people, build those relationships, go that step further, get to know who they are, and keep them. They're all there. We're all on that journey together. So bring people along with you and support theirs as well.
And you mentioned the struggle. Is there anything that you wish you knew at an earlier stage in your journey, or perhaps wish you knew now? Because obviously my show is called If Only They Knew. So that's like a big thing that we look into, looking at how the older entrepreneurs can share their advice to the younger entrepreneurs based on what they wish they knew at that age, and vice versa. So yeah, is there anything you wish you knew?
Yeah, definitely. Probably my biggest mistake I made, well, I say mistake, not it was a mistake as such, but lesson learned, I think, was I spent a lot of time focusing on the what I was doing. So I was trying to sell, blog packages and social media packages and stuff, rather than focusing on the pain point that I was solving. So probably the best piece of advice I could give myself, 2.5 years ago, would be take the what you're doing, turn it into the how, and then replace the what with what you're solving. So, I do blogs, cool. I increase your rankings on Google and help you get found by your customers more easily. Cool. How? Blogs. That transition for me was a really pivotal moment in the business.
No, I like that. I'm just registering that myself. I might put that into play because there are a lot of things that I could translate that into myself. So I really like that piece of advice. So thanks for that.
Thank you. No worries.
Yeah, it's been very useful having you on. I know these are short series, but I feel like they're really powerful. So what is next for you then? What's next in your journey?
Next for me, so I'm currently trying to grow my coaching package at the moment. So I'm looking to meet with founders and solopreneurs, help them generate more conversations, helping them structure the business as well, and things like that. I've just recently launched or relaunched my accelerator, which is a 4-week program at the moment. So I'm looking forward to getting that up and running as well. And in terms of future projects, I've not got anything set in stone at the moment. I've got a lot of ideas bouncing around, but nothing that's locked in place yet. So stay tuned on that one.
That's perfect. Sometimes it's good to be an open book, have 1 or 2 steps like lined out in front of you, and then be open to whatever comes. So that's good. I really, really like that. Yeah, mate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, these are quite short, but they're impactful. So thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.